Okay, for this video I'm going to talk about managing engagement on your state Facebook pages. And kind of the key points that I'm planning on going over in this training is, how to respond to messages to the page, engaging with people in the comment section and the post to page area, deleting spam and blocking trolls, and then how to deal with opponents who are, engaging with your content. So first off, I'll kind of walk you through this looking at our national page. And actually I'm going to take you to back to one of our state Facebook pages, as that'll probably be a better example for you. Okay, let's log out here. Okay. I'm going to log into the Facebook page that's an admin on these pages. Okay, let's go back to Convention of States, Texas. And FYI, if you're looking for your state Facebook pages, that's really how you do it. You just type in Convention of States and then whatever the state name is that you're managing. Okay, so once you get to the page, just some fundamentals. In order to post to the page, you'll see right now my photo is showing up here, which means that if I posted to the page right now, it would end up here in the visitor post section. So when you're posting to the page, make sure that you're toggled to be posting Ask the Page. I think, here, you would click on that, and since I'm a manager on all of our pages, I see all of these popping up, but you'll likely only see the Convention of States Texas page, so you'll click on that. And now when you're posting to the page, you'll be posting like something like this, so it would show up in the main section. And then if you're commenting, right now it's still commenting as me. Let me just do a test. Okay, so you're seeing that I'm posting as Laura Scala right now. So really you need to log into the page. And so I went to the business manager to log in that way, and now you can see all the comments. Here's the Convention of States Texas logo, so that means that I would be posting Ask the Page. And if I posted up here, it would go down into the main comment section. And that's what I really recommend doing when you're managing engagement, because we want people to know that we, Ask the Page, are paying attention to what they're posting on the page and are interacting with them and want to encourage them to engage with us as well. So the first priority really when it comes to managing engagement, I think, is to keep up with messages into the page. So right up here in this category, you can see messages. And right now there's not an alert, so that means there probably aren't any new messages. But here you can see this is kind of like the inbox of your state Facebook page. And really it's basically just like an email messaging tool. But I really encourage you to keep on top of these questions that you'll get into the page, because really these are people who are interested enough in what we're doing that they actually took time to send us a message into the page. And so I think these are people that are really prime for recruiting. I really encourage you, whenever you're responding to these messages, to send them links back to sign-up pages on our website so that we can get them into our system and get them signed up to be a district captain. That's one of the things that I tend to recommend the most is district captain positions, because I know we need a lot of them, and it's really a pretty low barrier to entry type of position. But definitely feel free to customize whatever you're sending back to them as to whatever is most needed in your state. But that's just one area to make sure that you're staying on top of that and are redirecting them back into things that are happening in the state. Also a great place if you have events coming up and things like that to make sure that they're aware of those happenings. The second area is visitor posts, which is this section. And if you click on it, it will expand so you can actually see all of them. These, I think it's important to just keep an eye on to make sure that people aren't posting spam to the page. So these, since it's all about Convention of States, are obviously fine. And I would encourage you to go through and like some of these things so that people can tell that you're actually paying attention and are appreciating them, taking time to tag us in their posts or do things like that. Maybe you even want to comment on it. So this person is saying, this was taken at 6:45 on the steps of the Texas Capitol. Convention States Texas supporters ready to fill the House gallery. Many more people have arrived since. So maybe we say, thanks so much for sharing this photo. Your support is very much appreciated, or something along those lines. And you can tag them in that post as well. Actually, I'll show you. You can also edit these if you decide that you made a mistake on something. Let's say, thanks so much for sharing this photo at Tim, and then it will pop up. So now you can do Tim McShane. Your support is very much appreciated, and then hit enter and it will repost. And that will give them a notification on their Facebook page that they've been tagged in something, so it's more likely that they'll actually see that. So doing things like that, leaving comments, encouraging notes, thanking people, asking them to sign up, thanks so much for your support. Have you considered becoming a district captain? Maybe that person already is, so hopefully if you're in this state, you'll have a better idea of that. And then other things, if you see people posting things that is just not relevant, this one is kind of questionable to me. I haven't really taken the time to read through it, but I would look through these, and if you see something that really is not relevant or is, you think, abusive to the page, I would just click delete from page or hide from page, depending on how severe it is. So since this one, it doesn't look like it's anything terrible, but it's not really relevant to what we're talking about. Some people post promotions. I would either delete or ban those from the page. So I'm just going to hide this one for now, since it's really... And what happens when you hide it is it means that the person who posted it will still be able to see it, but no one else will, so they won't know that you've actually removed their post, which I think is kind of handy. But if you see things that are more abusive, I would say, if it's someone who's constantly spamming the page or trolling, those people I would ban. If it's someone who's, constantly harassing, if it's a pattern, I would ban them. Otherwise, I would delete the post from the page. Another area that's really requires moderation is the comment section on these posts, which on the state pages don't tend to get a ton of action just because there are fewer people responding. But let's say, someone does this love this story comment. I would then go back in. Obviously, this is me, but for example's sake, if you go back in, I would like that. And then you can message that person if you want to reach out to them directly. I would probably reply and say something like, so glad you enjoyed it. Have you thought about getting more involved with what we're doing in Texas? And then link them to a sign-up page to join or to sign the petition or something like that. Because those are people, again, that they're kind of reaching out to us, and it's really easy to respond to them and get them more engaged. So think of it really as an easy recruiting opportunity there. And then I guess the last thing I'll just mention is how to deal with opponents on the page. I would really encourage you, if someone is responding with, arguments against Convention of States, or saying, I think this is too risky, or this is a wrong decision, I would encourage you to actually reply to them like this. So that other people can see your response as well, and make sure that you're not defensive at all, but just calmly respond to their arguments, because the facts are on our side. And we have all these resources on our website that we can send to them. And so I'd really encourage you to, it doesn't have to be anything crazy long, just maybe directing them to a resource where maybe if it's a runaway convention, you just say, I understand your concern. That's actually something we've looked into extensively. Have you seen this research project that shows why this is not an issue? Or something along those lines, and then link to the article. Because even though that person may not be won over, and a lot of times people who are set in their ways like that really are not going to change their mind. But it may actually be useful for other people who are going to see that post, and then we'll see, oh, actually that's not a concern, and here's some great research as to why that's the case. So that's how I tend to initially approach people who are actually, responding with negative arguments. Now again, if they fall back into the troll section where they're just, never going to listen, they're causing more harm than they're worth, I would go ahead and ban them from the page and delete their comments. So it's kind of a, at your discretion how you want to handle that. But I don't just delete every comment that's not supportive. I try and win them over first, and really, even if you're not winning them over, it can be a good lesson for other people who are reading them. So with that, I will close down this training segment and we'll move on to the next topic.